Hi everyone, it's me, Doomlink. Welcome to Let's Play Demon Souls. This is my 4th playthrough of this game, and this is going to be a faith build. So anyway, I'm just trying to do some character creation at this point. Give me a moment. So basically, I'm going to go with the male character this time because, quite frankly, I don't really feel like using any of the female armors. I think the male armors are more, I guess, common. So basically, I'm just going to do that. I will do Temple Knight. Royalty? No, Royalty is generally, well, Magician, I mean, Royalty. No, I mean, I don't want to do any magic, I don't think, so I'll just stick with the Temple Knight. It also helps that... Oh no, sorry. I don't know why I thought the Temple Knight started with a short spear. I just had it in my head that he started with a short spear. Does anyone start with a short spear? Anyone? Anyone? I mean, I know I could also do Priest, but... I kind of want to start with the Temple Knight, quite frankly. Because, yeah, let's just go with the Temple Knight. I'm good with that. I know I'm doing the Temple Knight for the second time now, but... Yeah, it's... get over it. Let's just go with this. I'm happy. Okay, so basically, the plan is... Well, funnily enough, I actually have a bit of a more clear plan for this build than I have had for my previous builds, because I just realised, I mean, I didn't think that it existed, because last time I checked, and admittedly it was a while ago when I did last check, I didn't believe that there would be a Demon Souls character planner, but... now that I've checked again, one has been created. I don't know how long ago it was when I last checked to see if there was one, but there wasn't one, basically. At least not on Mugen Monkey, or Mugen Monkey, however you pronounce that. I remember using the Dark Souls character planner once upon a time, and that actually was really helpful. So yeah, it's basically the same, but with Demon Souls, and it's really nice. It's set up to look like the Demon Souls status screen. It looks really quite nice, so I would recommend using that if you don't already know about it. You probably do, and I'm the one who's out of the loop because I have been out of the loop with Dark Souls since shortly after Dark Souls 2 released. I mean, seriously, I didn't get any of the Dark Souls 2 DLC when that came out because I was already out of the loop with Dark Souls at that point. So yeah, anyway, I'm not going to get into the fact that the Soul series is dead to me. We won't go into that anyway. Okay, so I think we're just going to go ahead and start with World 1-1. How about we just make it nice and quick, no bullshit, let's get started. It is kind of weird to start with such a small amount of health because, of course, I have been doing New Game Plus playthroughs as of late with my Strength build, my 2nd playthrough, and my Magic build, my 3rd playthrough. I've been doing 2 of them simultaneously, 2 New Game Plus playthroughs. Of course, if you aren't aware, I have also done full New Game playthroughs with both of those 2 builds, my Strength and Magic builds, and now I'm going through New Game Plus with both of those builds. As of this moment, it's actually the 29th of April. I've basically completed New Game Plus on my Magic build. I was just trying to get the Monk's head collar, and yeah, it wasn't really turning out for me, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I couldn't find anyone to invade and all of that. Pretty sad news, but anyway, we won't get into that, of course, because I think I've already mentioned that a little bit in some video I did with my Strength build. But anyway, long story short, we are now going through this game in New Game. game, let's say game a few more times. Yes, we are now going through this game in New Game once again for the 4th time. Well, not once again for the 4th time. This is the first time I'm doing it for the 4th time, I guess, in my Let's Play series, but this is not the first time that I have been doing it repeatedly, obviously, because this is my 4th time. Why am I saying obvious things? I don't know. But anyway, basically the plan is I'm going to be getting 2 weapons that are integral to a faith build, which I'm sure you're aware of which weapons they are if you do know anything about the Demon Souls series. They are the Istarel and the Large Sword of Moonlight. Of course, if you are familiar with the Moonlight Greatsword from Dark Souls, it's a rather similar weapon, except I'm pretty sure the one in Dark Souls also does only magic damage as well. But unfortunately in this game, well, maybe not unfortunately, but it's a faith scaling weapon, not a magic scaling weapon. I can't remember the scalings for the magic... what was the... Great... Hold on... Moonlight Greatsword, Jesus. Wow, that was like the biggest mental blank I've had in this Let's Play for a while, and I have a lot of those, but anyway, like, I just totally lost, like, it's almost like I had a script and it just burned in my hands, but anyway, well, I'm not gonna make script analogies, because of course I don't talk by a script, and I'm sure you can clearly see that based on my commentary. But anyway, yeah, basically we're going to be getting the large sword of Moonlight as well. It's an S-scaling faith weapon which only deals magic damage. It's actually one of the few weapons in this game that ignores shields. The other one is the blind. I really like the blind, and it's one of my favourite weapons in this game. You get it from whatever her name is, the woman in World 5. I keep forgetting it now, the stupid name. You see her on the loading screens every now and again, and we've never actually seen... Or maybe we did see her at one point. I have a feeling that I fought her in my first playthrough on this channel. I can't really recall what happened with my first playthrough on this channel, quite frankly, because it was last year, and I just can't remember it now, because keep in mind, it was like early last year. We're talking January last year. I was doing that playthrough, so it's kind of hard for me to recall what I was doing. But yeah, it's literally been a year since I've done that, so when I say last year, I actually mean a year ago I was doing that, so yeah, my memory of a year ago is sadly not that great, but either way, we may or may not have seen her, but basically she hangs around World 5. You can either fight her as a human, I think, or in a Black Phantom form. I'm quite sure that her Black Phantom form is the one that drops the blind weapon, which is an S-scaling weapon with dexterity. And we will be using that for our dex build, and as has been planned since, I think, me doing my second build, my strength build, that will be my 5th playthrough of this game, my dex build. The reason why I'm leaving it so late is because it's a build that I do very often, because, as you know, I do like to be mobile when I play this game, and so therefore dexterity is generally the thing you want to go with, because there are less... Well, most of the effective dex weapons are rather light, and so it's easy to be light and effective with dexterity, if you know what I'm saying. So that's why generally when I want to go for a light, fast-rolling build with possible two-handing mechanics as well, because generally if you're rolling around you don't always need a shield. Yeah, it is nice to go with dexterity for several reasons, and that's basically what I have done for the most part. Other than that, I guess I've done quality builds, which are you joking? Oh god, the hitbox of that. Anyway, maybe it actually wasn't a hitbox issue and it was an issue of me being a complete clown, which also is a possibility. We will not rule out the possibility of me being an idiot, because that is, well, it's usually the case. That's usually the problem when something stupid happens in this game. It's me being stupid, or it's me being stupid, not the game. But, yeah, it's generally a result of bad decisions on my part. And good thing for my decent defense in this area, because I'm playing very, I guess, badly. Maybe not badly, but I'm not playing very well. I'm just taking a lot of hits. Because I guess at this point I'm realizing, okay, I'm not in New Game Plus anymore. I don't have to, like, avoid getting hit at all costs, because, you know, one hit does half of my fucking health. In this case, I can kind of take a few hits and it's nice and fun. I was actually going to parry you there, but you stopped attacking me, so yeah, whatever. It is kind of... I mean, I apologise if you... I mean, because of course I did start my strength build in this same way. I apologise if you are unimpressed with the fact that I'm starting the Temple Knight in this area again. It is kind of... maybe it's not the best thing, but I set up my character planner with the Temple Knight in mind, so I don't want to go back on that decision now. It's not worth it, so I'm just going to keep with this. The reason why I am starting with the Temple Knight is because it's already got a decent heavy armor set, and I did admittedly think that it started with a short spear, but it started with a halberd. See, I can't even remember, like, fucking 8 days ago to when I was using the Temple Knight for my strength build. It's ridiculous. Like, I thought it was a short spear for some reason, not a halberd. It's quite sad, but anyway... yeah, the reason why I wanted to use one with a short spear from the beginning is because I do want to use a spear, kind of setup in this game, because I want to, in this game, in this build, I guess in this game works as well, but you get the point. Yeah, you can explode and die. Bye-bye. Unintended rhyming there on my part. Anyway, we'll go and get the Ring of Herculean Strength. I don't really want to be relying on the Ring of Herculean Strength in this playthrough, and I don't intend to be as heavy as I am in my strength build, but I do intend to be fat rolling. This is not going to be a fast rolling build, this is going to be a hide behind your shield and poke. Well, not necessarily hide behind your shield, but it will be a little bit of poking, because basically to get through... Oh god, Discord is fucking distracting me. Anyway, sorry, if you don't know what Discord is, it's a fucking... I think it's a chat app that's actually started to get kind of popular lately, but I've been using it for quite a while now for various chat rooms, and it's quite nice. But anyway, I've kind of gotten myself in a bad position here. How about I do this? Yes. Okay, strong attack. Oh, that's not good. I don't need to get stuck in here. Okay, do that. There we go. Lovely attack. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to minimize Discord. Give me a second, because posts that are going on there are going on in the corner of my eye, and it's kind of distracting me from the game, which isn't too great. But anyway, we'll pick up... Oh, that's exactly what I didn't want to pick up, because that's a female-only set. Then again, Old Spice is not unwelcome. 2 Old Spice, okay. Anyway, yeah, I was making some point... Oh, yeah, about spears. So, yeah, I'm going to be using spears for the most part, and I'm also going to be using heavy shields. Not really heavy shields. I'm planning on using the steel shield, which I think has 82... guard break reduction when you fully upgrade it, so that's pretty good. That's almost as good as the Tower Knight shield, except it's nowhere near as bloody heavy. Generally, when it comes to guarding, I like to base the effectiveness of the shield based on guard break, because that is the thing that you're going to be guarding against most often, physical attacks. And sometimes fire, sometimes magic. I guess, does fire count as magic? I don't actually know how fire works in terms of the stats in this game. And when I say stats, I'm talking about the damage stats and such. Like, how is that calculated? Is that considered to be magic, or physical damage, or is it just fire damage? I don't know, I mean... Oh, right, it is considered a separate thing, fire defense, and I would imagine, therefore, that a shield also has its own... Yeah, fire defense? Does it have fire defense? Maybe... I'm not too sure how that works, quite frankly. I've got no idea. I think it's a little bit clearer. Well, it's more than a little bit clearer in Dark Souls. But, oh well, what can you do? Let's just do this strong attack. Oh, I love that. That's just lovely. I'm not going to be sticking with the halberd for too long. I'm going to try and level up the winged spear a little bit. But yeah, like I said, well, like I was trying to say previously, I didn't get to finish what I was talking about. I do have a tendency to do that. That used to be a really bad habit of mine, you know. I'd start talking about something and then I'd just totally forget what I was talking about, and then, yeah, it kind of pissed me off in post for a while, but that was a habit that I got out of around 2010, which is really good. So, yeah, well, maybe not entirely something that I've gotten out of, but you know what? It's a lot better than it used to be, don't worry. But anyway, the point that I was trying to make previously was that the reason why I want to be relying on hiding behind shields with spears is because the places where I'm going to have to go through to get the Istarel and the Large Sword of Moonlight are not pleasant areas whatsoever. I do not enjoy fighting giant depraved ones in Area 5.1 and 5.2. It is not pleasant at all. I think I've said that twice now. Yeah, it's not pleasant, believe me. I don't need to say it any more than that. It's not very nice at all. Anyway, I'm not going to further describe how unenjoyable that experience is by using various different words to describe that negative experience, but you know what? Just trust me when I say that it's bloody awful. Anyway, yes, using a spear will make life a little bit easier for me, because, you see, the thing is, when it comes to using faith weapons now, I don't know if there is actually a stone. I don't believe there is. I mean, look, the reason why I say things as if I don't know what's going on in this game. Look, for the most part I do know what's going on in this game, but I just forget a lot of things, and I don't have confidence in my ability to not forget things. So when I say I'm not sure if there is a stone that allows us to have our weapons scale with faith, What I actually mean is, I don't believe that there is a stone that allows us to have our weapons scale with magic, but there is a slight possibility that that does exist, and for whatever reason I have forgotten about it now. As you know, my memory when it comes to games is horrendous, and unless I play a game a shit ton, I forget everything all the time, and I think the only exceptions to that rule, I suppose, would be guns in Call of Duty. I can always remember those things, no matter how much time passes. I don't know why. And, well, I guess this isn't an exception to the rule, because this was a part of the rule, me playing a game a crapload. Would be Dark Souls, because I think maybe even now, I mean, well, we're gonna see, because I am going to do something similar to what I'm doing right here, but in Dark Souls later on, probably in 2017 sometime. But, yeah, I think I more or less remember everything in Dark Souls. Like, everything, as in the ins and outs of the game to an extreme extent. Well, maybe I'm not that knowledgeable anymore. I think maybe most of it will have escaped my mind to make way for things that I can remember in this game now. You know, things that I'm relearning in this game are kind of like taking up slots in my memory banks and kicking out Dark Souls information because it's saying, oh, that's not relevant anymore, let's get rid of that. So, yeah, it's terrible. But anyway, I mean, my memory is usually pretty good, but I have mentioned before that it is kind of random. I mean, when I can remember things that are so bloody trivial, yet things that are really important I never bloody remember. So, I mean, I can remember things that are so unimportant for, like, my entire life. Well, my entire life. I haven't lived that long yet, all things considered, but, you know, I do remember some weird things that aren't in any way important. And other things that are quite important I just forget. So I'm sure that there are other people in the world who share this experience, and maybe some of you who are watching this feel the same way. But yeah, in some ways my memory is good, and in others it's quite diabolically horrendous. So yeah, do excuse that. It's something that you'll have to get used to if you plan on watching my videos for any length of time. But yeah, it is a problem because it does make me look a little bit incompetent with some games that I play, despite the fact that, you know, I'm supposed to be good at them. Because the thing is, I mean, all of the games that I play are games that I have played many times before, because quite frankly, I don't consider myself to be a part of the gaming community anymore. I don't play any new games, okay? And this might sound very weird to you. It might sound like, well, isn't that boring? It's really not, because games are not my primary source of entertainment in my life currently, so whenever I go back to play a game, it's quite okay for me to just go through and play a game that I've played before, because my memory of it isn't very strong. I can't strongly visualize the experience of playing that game, so it's not strange for me to go back and have fun playing a game I've played before, because, you know, I'm just re-experiencing something that I have more or less forgotten. So it's really quite enjoyable to do that, and because I like to stick with games that I know I like as well, so it's not that I'm afraid to play a game and I'm not going to like it or something. I mean, I just don't really have an interest in playing any new games anymore. I'm content with the games that I play now, which is kind of weird, I suppose, for people who play games to hear, but like I said, I don't really play games anymore, so I'm content with this situation. There are very rare circumstances where I play games for the first time, well, newer games that I haven't played before. One example that I can pull out of my arse now. Well, not pull out of my arse. Pull out of my arse implies that it's a lie, but one example that I can think of off the top of my head is The Binding of Isaac, and well, not the original Binding of Isaac, because I have been playing it. I haven't played it in ages, but I did used to play it, and I did so, I think it was shortly after The Wrath of the Lamb came out. So was that early 2013? I'm not sure. But yeah, I didn't play Rebirth until maybe 4 months ago, we'll say. We'll say 4 months ago I started playing Rebirth, and that came out in like 2014, and I I totally forgot that there was a new Binding of Isaac game coming out and all of that. And, you know, just because of my... Well, I just kind of felt like doing something new. Just for some reason, you know, because I was playing through the Binding of Isaac again, and I kind of thought, oh yeah, that's right, there's a new Binding of Isaac game, I think, and I checked, and bloody hell, yeah, it was released a while ago, so I went and downloaded it and played it, and I quite enjoyed it, you know, and I haven't played it in a while, but, well, not since, I think I played it for like a month or something, and then I stopped, so that was 4 months ago, well, I guess 3 months ago since I've played the game, if we are assuming my calculations are correct, but, yeah, basically, that is really the only game that I can think of that I've played recently that is new to me, one that I haven't played before, and I guess it may sound to you that it would be boring to just play games that you've got vague memories of. You know, you don't experience anything new, and so it's not so adventurous. But you know what? I think that there is so much. I mean, it depends on the game, obviously, and fortunately, I have games that I consider to be very good. So basically, I'm content with kind of exploring the various aspects of a game to the point where it's not boring to play it repeatedly. You know, I just explore different aspects of it, and I enjoy that. And that's kind of what I'm doing with Demon's Souls right now. I'm doing different builds and trying to do different things, and it's not like I've never done those things before, but it's nice to experience it again, you know, that's the point. But anyway, maybe I'll get off this topic now, maybe you're bored of it. Anyway, we're taking on the first boss here. I've been doing this entire area completely subconsciously. I have not paid attention to anything that I've done so far. Not really, anyway. So, yeah, I've just been playing this while backseat. Well, I've been backseat playing, basically, and I've been putting most of my thoughts into the conversation that I'm having with myself. Well, we'll say the conversation I'm having with you guys that you will hear later on, you know, and you won't be able to talk back, but anyway, my self-conversation that will be heard by others. But anyway, I don't know how this guy actually heals, I don't know when it happens and all of that, but I suppose I do need to be careful of my health here, but I'll just be aware of it. I'll throw another firebomb at you. Oh, well that did damage. Anyway, okay. Well, we killed the boss with a firebomb, we didn't even need turpentine. Good to see. Alrighty. So that's that taken care of. Obviously a very quick process. Yeah, so miracles, miraculous. I'm not really a person who has used miracle builds very much in the past, so this will be a very interesting playthrough for me, because I think I've only done like one miracle build in the past. Sorry, I bumped my mic a little bit there. I was like scratching my back, and like the opposite side of my back to the arm that I'm scratching it with, and my elbow knocked the mic. It probably wasn't that big of a deal anyway, you probably hardly heard it, but anyway, yeah, I think I may have done like one playthrough with this ages ago. Like, it would have been, don't know when I would have done it, maybe 2010, 2011 maybe, I'm not too sure. But yeah, it was something that I definitely did, and it was, I don't know if I enjoyed it, but it was something that I did a while ago. So we're going to basically become reacquainted. Well, I am anyway, with the feeling of doing a faith build. I can't remember what I did last time. It was probably a fat roll build, I would imagine. But anyway, of course, there are no mid rolls in Demon's Souls, as far as I know. There are only fat rolls or fast rolls. So yeah, that's kind of a sad thing. But yeah, I mean, mid rolls in Dark Souls were quite nice, but because you didn't feel like you were travelling any forward distance when you were mid-rolling. So, I mean, for a while with Dark Souls, I just kind of I stuck with mid-rolls for a while because they were quite comfortable to me, because they felt a lot better than fat rolls get. I felt that I didn't have to kind of, I guess, sacrifice defense for mobility, because ultimately the mid-roll felt quite fast for me, comparing it to Demon's Souls, which was what I was used to when I first came into Dark Souls. But yeah, anyway, like I said, I will get back into Dark Souls soon. It's more enjoyable to play Demon's Souls at this point, because I only played Demon's Souls for about maybe a year and a half until... I mean, I can't remember when I got this game now, but I don't think it was in 2009 when I got this game, but the point is, I didn't play this game for as long as I played Demon's Souls, basically. So coming back and playing this game is a lot more fun than going back and playing Dark Souls, because I don't think you understand how much I played Dark Souls. I did so many playthroughs of that game, it hurts to even recall. So it's kind of weird going back to Dark Souls, I think. So yeah, I don't know. Well, I'll do it eventually, but I don't know how I feel about it. Even now, I kind of feel like I don't want to go back to it. So yeah. Anyway, Jesus, what do I do? Look, we won't touch faith for now. We'll put a few points into intelligence. Yes, spell memory is increased. It's good. I mean, miracle memory. Spell memory is not what we're upgrading here. The reason why we're putting points into intelligence is so we can get increased MP, because of course we cannot get increased MP using faith, unfortunately, but we can get miracle memory using faith, and of course miracle power as well, same with magic. But anyway, it seems that magic kind of links in with intelligence a lot more than faith does, but that's why faith has miracle power as well. But it seems that magic defense also exists for faith, which is interesting. So, do excuse me. Anyway, so strength, I don't know what I want to do there. Maybe I'll put 2 points into dex, some points there, maybe another one into intelligence. I think that's alright. I think we're under control. Let's put this bloody slave shield away. We don't want that garbage. Get out of my life, please. And we'll also put these two away. Of course, in the next area, World 1, 2. Of course, I was about to say that the other way around. Where am I going? Where do you reckon? Away from you. Anyway, you can see that much with your eyes. Anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. This has been part 1 of my Let's Play, etc, etc. Same shit that I always say at the end of every video. And I'll see you guys in part 2. Catch you later.